Well, isn't this interesting, lovers? Hello, hello, hello. Isn't it interesting? So, what's the chatter tonight? The chatter tonight seems to be all about. Let's go back in time, shall we? Let's go back in time when Mama Beth and myself were trying to tell all of you would be fools out there, wake up and smell the fraud, baby. Do you remember that in not so many words? Of course you remember that. Over and over again, we stood together. Mama Beth made all the investigative phone calls, broke them down for you over video time and time again. I laid out all the common sense, the cutting through the static left and right. And shocker, shocker, suddenly now you're realizing we're $7,000 in the rears. Really? Like I often say, I'm no mathematician, but 2 plus 2 equals 4, and I do believe Beth and I came up with that same figure months and months and months ago. And where were you all? Oh, I know, you were too busy tribing up and hating on people to listen to reason and to understand. Wait a minute, something isn't right here. This isn't cool. Where were all these channels then, huh? Truly. Where were you, Diane? Where were you, Wendy? Where were you, Randy? Where were you? Where were you? I'll tell you where you were. Your heads were in the sand. That's where you were. You were too busy, 2 feet underground, burying your faces. There's where you were. Stellar, where were you, darling? I'll tell you where you were, Mr. Stellar. You were sitting right there, unwilling to listen to reason. Willing to put your reputation on the line at the time that every donation was made. You were there, you've seen it, you have every reason to believe, etc., etc., etc. And all we said was, honey, show me the receipts. You better bring some receipts. Let's see some receipts of, at the time, all this money that was raised, hate money as we call it. All this money that was raised on others' hatred for whoever it may have been, including myself, mind you, Elvis. So there was quite a bit of money raised through there to give to St. Jude, apparently. Where were you then? Where were you? I know where each and every one of you were. I sure do, because I don't forget nothing. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you that sat there and drug Mama Beth to the end of time and back. Belittled her, called her all kinds of names. The same for me. Attempted to belittle me, Mallery Williams, as if I would ever bring something this to the forefront and ask a question if I didn't sincerely believe there was something amiss. Which could have been completely cleared up by authenticating a confirmation number, a receipt, a standard letter of appreciation from St. Jude's itself for the ongoing donations with the amounts and dates. $7,000 was a lot of money to be promised to sick children, and then still be in question in January or February 2020 if it ever made it there. And shocker, as it stands, St. Jude's has no, they don't have no record of it. There's $7,000 missing, people. Same thing Mama Beth said to each and every one of you out there. Same damn thing. See, this is what happens when everybody, you just wind up looking so ignorant and stupid, completely stupid, as you sit up here months later and pretend that you were on the side of light and right back in the day. You weren't. You were not. Stellar, no offense, but you were not on the side of light and right anywhere in that moment. And you know you weren't. It was a tribal atmosphere and you chose your side. You chose your side. For whatever reason, there's where you were. Shame on you. Now you want to sit up here and act concerned? Now you want to sit up there on that panel and act concerned and say, if Tucker would just show, if he would just show us the receipts, It sure would clear all this up, and I'm really hoping he can just show the receipts. Yeah, you better hope. But I wouldn't hold your breath on it. All y'all are crazy. You're crazy. And this is what happens when you refuse to support someone that you don't like, even though you know that they're probably telling you the truth. Even though you know full well that you're not sitting on the right side of the ballpark, and they are. So because of that, you can't even be big enough person to say, you know what, I know I'm being quite an ass right now, but those bitches are right. Those bitches are right. Of course we're right. Of course we're right. We don't talk shit just to sit up here and wipe our mouths after the fact. That's not our game. You know, how about some apologies are in order, I think. Well, forget about me, because we know there's no apology coming my way from any of the haters out there. But how about Mama Beth? Because fair versus fair, she deserves an apology. She's the one who spent time and time again on the phone with St. Jude's, providing as much information as she could, to no avail, because the haters weren't part of her tribe. It didn't matter what she had to say, what she had to report. And now we're all sitting up here, all of you are sitting up here like, wait a minute, this is the first time? This is the first time this is coming to light that there's a shortage of $7,000, approximately? You fools. Absolute fools. And I say that in the kindest way that I can, even knowing full well that I can still like some of these fools for other reasons. But darling, you're still fools. The ridiculousness of it all. Give credit where credit is due. Mama Beth. You know, Mama Beth, if you're out there, take comfort in this. The right people had your back at the time. The right people stepped up to the plate and had your back and did their best to share the message, to share your findings, to tune in. Do you remember Mama Beth? Do you remember everybody that went in, a couple people went in and tried to sabotage her accounts? Tried to sabotage her accounts and her viewers so that no one could even tune in to comment or watch because they were mysteriously blocked? Yeah, that's the kind of tribal atmosphere we had. Turncoats. People that were once her friends. People that she thought enough to make moderators at one point in time. Decided to turn her back, or his back, whoever it may have been, on her. Shameful. Shameful, because, you know, it's weak. It's easier to cozy up to the bully or bullies at the time in a very weak attempt to perhaps spare yourself of the bullying. That's the oldest trick in the book. Make friends with the bully, and you'll be fine. Make friends with the bullies, the in-crowd, the bitter. Make friends with them. You'll be fine. That way you don't become the target. But we know where the strength is. The strength is within the people like Mama Beth and myself and Pirate. Let us not forget Pirate, okay? And everyone else on the ship. Let us not forget that. That's where the strength comes from. Because people like us are willing to call people to task. We're willing to call the bullies to the carpet. We're willing to call the wrongdoers or the people in question to the carpet and say, put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. Now let me close with this. Now you all want to sit here and prosecute Tucker. Well. I'm sorry, that ship is so sailed. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? Now you want to prosecute the man? Now you want to give him a hard time? Now you want to drive your vehicles up his ass? Oh, but you weren't worrying about it when he was pulling all those views back in the day, were you? You weren't worried about it then when his was the little popular watering hole in town where everybody wanted to gather and deliver some of their bitterness, their prejudice, their hatred, their phobias. You had no problem then, right? How do you think he came up with the name St. Tucker? That was me. St. Tucker, because the absurdity of what was going down and how at the time he was running his channel and at the time that you all were treating St. Tucker. Now I called bullshit from the get-go on that, as I often do. But now, no, I'm sorry. I don't think we're going to sit here now and try to pull teeth from Tucker. Time has passed. Too much has gone down. Too much has gone down. And if I were Tucker at this point, I would tell each and one of you hypocrites, one of you weak tribal mentality people, kiss my ass. At this point, that's exactly what I would tell each and every one of you. I would not be climbing up on anyone's channel trying to justify, explain myself. I would simply say, kiss my ass. That ship has sailed. It is what it is. It is what it is. Meanwhile, while you're worried about Tucker and how he might have spent money a year ago or whatever, hey, you had your chance. You blew it. You all blew it. Right up in your own faces. But you know what? There's still people out there that want to know what the hell Stellar gave Cat money for. As if he never knew, if he didn't know this person from Adam. Oh, he knew Cat full well. He knew of Cat, he knew Cat, but he did it. So, my tune hasn't changed on that. You know, I have no personal vendetta, I have no personal anger or in-depth negative feelings for Stellar. But I'm not one of these people that are going to call out and treat him again like some sort of sage of YouTube, some secondary saint. No, I'm not. He is fallible, people. Stellar is fallible, just like the rest of us. Tucker is fallible. Mallery Williams is, on a rare occasion, fallible. Mama Beth? No. She's perfect, girl. She's perfect. But here's the deal. It feels good. Because I know what you're asking. Mallery, how is it every goddamn time? Whether it's instantly, a week later, a month later, a year, how is it that you always come out on top? And whatever you said was going to happen or is going to happen, it always comes to light that you were right. That is because I'm good. I'm good at what I do. I'm good at reading people. I'm good at reading the vibe in the room. I don't have to take the entire damn bus ride across the filthy city to realize where we're going. I know where the destination is. It's a gift that I have. It's a gift that I have, and I use it to the best of my ability. So there you have it. Shame on all of you for now coming to this silly realization and now wanting facts and now wanting to change your positions up and pretend for anybody that don't remember or wasn't there, or for those who conveniently want to forget their positions. Okay? The felons out there, oh, they had no problem with Tucker, did they? They had no problem with a few $1,000s missing up out of the count. No, not one bit. So why you care now? You don't. Tucker, once again, if you listen to this, they can kiss your ass at this point. And that's just how I feel. The time has come and gone. And how dare they suddenly sit up here as if this is some sort of epiphany when Mama Beth laid these details out in full on every level. And I was right there to support her with this, and you all shunned us. This isn't even a situation where, some gal will say, well, I brought it to the table, and, well, no, this is different because everybody heard us. Our voices were loud and proud and vocal, and Lord knows we took a lot of hits for it. We took abuse for it. So there you have it. You all are pathetic. Anyone involved in this ridiculousness at this point, you're a bit on the pathetic side. You need to check yourself. You need to refresh your mind when it comes to history and how this all went down, when it went down, who offered what up, and how you treated that person or those people that attempted in the heat of it, in the very heat of it, to make sense of this and to do the math. Yeah. On that note, take care.